Wow. Isn't that nice? I think that's just, look at that. Okay, real talk. I am recording this. Wait, hold on. Sorry, I just need to check. And my pocket is nice and zipped up. Hold on just a minute. But we're gonna still enjoy this walk because why not? Oh yeah, it's not zipped up yet. Hold on. So let's see, I didn't drop anything. I don't think so. Okay, should be fine now. So, I'm leaving the house, obviously. We're outdoors. Yeah, right after the chapstick tutorial that I just recorded. So obviously you're going to see this later than the other one. But yeah, just to give you some context as to when, this is actually happening. So, I mean, if you're interested in that anyways, but yeah, I digress. Okay. I think one can easily tell when I'm going through one of those times in life that aren't the smoothest, and honestly, I wouldn't consider this time that I'm recording in, I wouldn't consider this time in my life necessarily one of the hardest. But yeah, there are moments where, sometimes it's just like, damn, like, why is it stressful for no particular reason, I mean, I'm pretty sure you have felt it in some shape or form where you go into a situation, you go into a place, like, you link up with somebody, whatever it is, and for some reason, there's just something about it that's more stressful than it should be or than it needs to be, and then you're kind of just standing there or sitting there, like, wondering to yourself, like, something doesn't feel right. I'm trying to put the words to it, or maybe you do have the words to it, and then you think to yourself, it doesn't have to be like this. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be this stressful. It just doesn't have to be. And that's basically, where I'm recording from. Yeah. That's the time of my life that I'm recording from, basically. I don't mean to brag, but if I'm being completely honest, comparing, what I kind of imagined for myself when I was, younger, I got really objective with myself and I thought to myself, you know what? It's actually, where I am right now in my life, it's actually not that different from what I envisioned for myself when I was small. Yeah, not very different. I mean, there's some details that are kind of, what do you call it? They're kind of different circumstantially, but the themes that, that I saw, happening for myself as I got older, I realized, oh wait, it's actually happening right now, what I saw when I was younger, just in a different style, I guess you could say. Just not as, the path isn't as traditional as I initially thought when I was smaller, but other than that, it's basically the same. And, sorry, just a second. Yeah, and with that being said, what do you call it? Here's the crazy thing. Yeah, I don't think I've told you yet, but during the summer, I was thinking to myself, you know what? I haven't been feeling very safe about, doing work, on, physical job sites, particularly, in 2020 when, the whole global panic happened, right? And so, yeah, I basically was, more of a homemaker and doing more home-based stuff, like, during 2020. And then, what do you call it? And then 2021 rolls around, particularly the summer, and I'm thinking to myself, like, you know what? I don't like sweating all the time, but I think I feel, protected enough. I got, like, double vaccinated and that kind of thing. I feel protected enough to, start doing stuff, on physical job sites. I think I'm ready to go now. Okay. Basically, I start doing another youth program. It ends up, doing pretty okay. And then I realize, okay, this placement that I basically got for myself, like, it doesn't feel safe for me mentally and emotionally. I gotta go. So that's what I did. And then I thought to myself, okay, so maybe that kind of work environment isn't for me, but I'm still open to doing, a summer job, something, right? So then I go through Canada's job bank, and I find, this really rinky-dink local company. I interview for them, yeah, it didn't take them very long for them to consider me for an interview. It felt like really short of a wait, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, just hold on to that piece of information because I'm going to explain why it was crazy. Just a second. Okay, so basically, fast forward, it takes me 2 tries of commuting to actually have an interview with this rinky-dink company. Because, basically what happened was they were just super busy and stuff. Yeah, so then basically, because I knew that they were busy, I thought to myself, you know what, I don't want to bother them right now. I feel like if it really is that important, like, they would have, organized it and set aside time, if they haven't already found somebody for the position, right? So then, the second time that I commute there, the interview is, what's happening. I would say it was fairly fast. Definitely, hands down, the least comfortable interview I have ever had in my whole life. And let's just say it left a bit of a mark on me. I feel like before this point, I considered myself, pretty okay functioning person in society, by my standards anyway. But I'm not gonna lie, this particular interview, it got me questioning myself so hard. Just a second. But yeah, long story short, the interviewer was super rude to me, and it kind of just sank in, I think either during the interview or after the interview, that I was probably the only candidate that, applied. And I think it makes sense why that was the case, because the thing was, nobody really knows this company. Like, nobody, unless, you're already a client. But, from a job market perspective, this company, I kid you not, is invisible. So then I kind of laughed to myself thinking, okay, whoever was interviewing me, they're basically being rude to me for no reason, because it just seems like, there's nobody else interviewing for this. So, like, why am I even pressed? You know what I'm saying? It was such a mess. I kid you not. And so then I think to myself, okay, maybe job bank, applying through the job bank Canada website, it just is not for me. I'm probably not going to do it again anytime soon, right? But yeah, here's the thing though. When I was applying through job bank, honestly, I kind of put it on a pedestal in the sense because the thing was, it's not uncommon for me to see their advertisements and commercials like that. So I was thinking to myself, okay, maybe the stuff that they put, on that site, it has to go through, a more specific, a more strict, verification process, whatever that may be, right? Only to find that it's not true at all. I thought it was going to be mostly stuff that is promoted by the government, stuff that's legit, right? But yeah, honestly, it took me a while to find this place on Google Maps, man. If it's taking me a minute to figure out where in the world you are. Okay, I have to go down like a rinky-dink sidewalk to find out about your rinky-dink company. No tea, no shade. I have to go through crevices and nooks and crannies to find your company. Why you mad though? Why you mad though when I walk into the interview and nobody knows who you are anyway? Oh my god. Okay. Okay, but enough of me throwing shade. Yeah, I just had to get that off my chest. Anyways, okay. But yeah, I mean, granted, I do agree that, you know, from a yeah, no tea, no shade, from like a Muggle perspective. Sorry, let me just cross real quick. I don't want to interrupt a conversation that's going on over there. Okay, so I can totally understand the perspective of this interviewer, you know, criticizing me and my qualifications and my history and that kind of thing. I get it, okay? I admit I never settled anywhere. And and I get it. It's not the most attractive thing to, you know, certain employers that, you know, aren't so forgiving towards people like me who live an alternative, you know, seasonal lifestyle, okay? But anyways, oh my gosh, my battery is dying. But anyway, nevertheless, I was able to find, you know, gigs after this interview fiasco, regardless of what this interviewer said. Naturally, because the thing is that, you know, people are people, there's going to be different opinions and that kind of thing, right? So naturally, of course, I would still be able to pick myself up regardless of, you know, those experiences that I just brought up. And oh my gosh, it just always surprises me when, what do you call it? I would get called for, oh yeah, we received your resume, and then I thought to myself like, oh, I'm not too sure if I want to do that kind of thing right now, but I appreciate them calling. And then like this company, I'm not going to reveal who they are, but they gave me a second call the following week. I thought, you know, they would get the message of me being silent that like, hey, I already found a place, you know? But yeah, they called me again a week later, the second phone call, letting me know like, yeah, we received your resume for this company, blah, 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 blah. And I just thought to myself like, oh, that's never happened before where I got like called twice on like two like separate, you know what I mean? Like two separate time frames. I just thought like, okay, they're gonna get the message that I'm, you know, not available. But yeah, I looked at that original posting because like I forgot what exactly the position was, and I thought to myself like, yeah, this is a great company, but I kind of accepted from the first experience earlier in that year. Well, earlier in this year that like I'm speaking from, 2021. So before the summer, I realized, okay, this is a similar environment to that position that wasn't good for me mentally and emotionally. I don't want to put myself in a compromised position again. So yeah, basically I was just, yeah, that just warmed my heart. And what do you call it? And I would see, not see, but I would also get other voicemails, you know, basically a day or 2 days after my application saying, you know, yeah, I saw your application, I saw your resume, just let me know when you're available for an interview. Yeah, at least like 2 other times from 2 other different companies, and it's just like, oh. And then I got a really sweet voicemail just today that I'm recording this from. And wait, sorry, just like yeah, and basically I remembered this one because I was attracted to it because it was so, close to where I lived. And they called basically from the mall saying, "Oh yeah, hi Kaylee, we received your resume and we really liked it, and we just wanted to ask if you were, available, for an interview."